You know, something that my brother said a lot right up until he passed away, right up until he decided to leave this earth, he kept telling his wife that he just felt so much shame. She said that to me. She said Eric would tell me and come to me a lot up until he died about how much shame he felt about his sin. And but he would also say something else that was also very impactful. He would always end his little posts whenever he was on social media with like things saying like life is good, and he would always say be present in the moment. I wish he took his own advice. But if you think about it, we must stay present in the moment, because if we're thinking about the past or if we're thinking about the future, that opens the door to anxiety and uncertainty and discomfort, dysregulation, all sorts of things that will negatively impact your way of thinking, and it'll rob you of your joy and your peace. So that's my message today. We must not think about what happened yesterday or in the past. You know, don't focus solely on tomorrow or the next day. This is today. This is the moment we have right now. Let's focus on the present moment, and we can look around us and we can say we're safe. We're grounded. We can ground ourselves, use our coping skills, like look at things, focus on objects that, you know, around you to kind of ground yourself, like do your breathing. You know, sometimes I'll do things like focus on certain colors around the room. Like right now, focus on something that's green. Okay, I see something green. Okay, focus on something that might be blue. Okay, I see blue. See, it takes my mind off of the fact that I'm getting overwhelmed. So if I give myself a little game to play, like I Spy, it helps ground me. But if we stay present in the moment, we don't worry about what's to come. Of course, we're human and we're going to think about it. But that's the key, is to just take yourself and just really focus on the moment that you're in and just keep doing that. And because God wants us to be at rest, God wants us to feel joy and not struggle or suffer. He understands this world is full of trouble. He understands the struggle. He understands the suffering. But there's ways to go about this life where you don't have to suffer so badly. There's ways to cope. And trust me, I am getting my hands on every technique I can possibly find to cope when I start feeling that autistic overwhelm and that autistic discomfort that I always have, that never goes away. But when I get overwhelmed, I just take a deep breath. I think about God, and I think about the present moment. So He doesn't want us to have anxieties. He doesn't want us to have, you know, struggle. He wants us to turn to Him so He can teach us how to get through this. And he teaches others so that they can teach us how to get through things. Like He brings people through such darkness so that they can teach others how to come to the light. You know, He brings people through such pain and such, you know, not because He's a bad father. He has ways about everything He does. And you're always in His arms, so He knows that you're okay. It might be scary, might be a scary ride, but you know you're in the arms of your Father. He's not going to drop you, let you go, hurt you, nothing like that. But this cognitive that I'm dealing with right now, where I'll be talking and then all of a sudden I'll just completely forget what I'm saying, that's getting so annoying and so tiring. I want that to go away. But now I'm getting so used to it that if I am talking to somebody, I used to become really embarrassed, and fear would shoot through me just out of how weird I would look by just talking, and then all of a sudden going, I forgot what I was saying, and then you get the weird looks, you know? But now I just say it. I don't care. I say, well, that thought just left my mind. It'll come back. But in the meantime, you know, and then I'll change the subject. And then until it comes back to me, and then I'll say, oh yeah, I just remembered. And then so it's a little bit overwhelming, but my brother would say that a lot. My brother would say he's carrying so much shame, and I wish I could just tell him right now, Eric, you didn't have to deal with all that shame. You had people, like, if he would have just talked to me more about his struggles, I feel like I may have been able to help him. Don't be afraid to tell people if you're struggling. Don't try to take care of it by yourself. He started to reach out there towards the end, but I think he already had his mind made up as far as what he was going to do. But that should be a lesson, something that we learn. My brother ended up leaving this world ultimately, but he did say beforehand how shameful he felt inside about the things that he's done in his past and the things that maybe he was currently doing. I don't know, but the enemy was sure making him feel like dirt, and the enemy told him to just end it. We don't do that. That's not the answer. Live in the present. Focus on the present. Get some grounding coping techniques, like I said, I play I Spy, and I just try to regulate. So, if anything should be learned from this message, give your shame to God, otherwise it'll eat you alive. And stay in the present. Love you.